Good morning. This is Max Farrell. This is DexTrader.com. We're doing some light trading, let's just say, this morning. I just want to quickly show you that there is a intraday signal that just popped up, Euro JPY. We're going to be using the Audi JPY 8545 and our very light live account. Let me see if I can stretch this out just a little bit further. Here we go. A little light account, 85. We got $825 in. We just started out with 800 bucks. Did a whole thought here that we wanted to start showing for people that normally this is the amount that most people start with, and we wanted to be able to show what that looks like. So we're going to do this series called Starting Anew. 8545 on Nadex. We're going to run into 8545. There it is, and this is for a sell. It looks like. So we don't have a direct line of connection in here for this particular one. So what we're going to do is we're going to do what we call a working order. And we're only going to do one contract, and we're going to put it in here for $22. So that way, if the price comes back up just a little bit, it comes closer to the 8540 side, we can look at getting into this particular trade. Now, I'm only going to leave this on. I'm going to put the alarm clock on for 9:45 because it's about 9 o'clock. So about 9:45. 15 minutes left on this. I'm going to pull it off because most times it'll fail in that last 15 minutes if it's going to fail. Okay, so kind of help the odds here a little bit. If we weren't able to get in. I'm getting in a little bit late. The signal came out at the top of the hour, and it's 20 minutes after the hour now, so I'm getting in a little late. We could look at doing the other ones because they're pretty vastly close to. They're above 80% in this. Now, keep in mind the winning percentages don't really matter here. This is an overall with during news inflection, so it's all about the highest percentage. So even if it's in 70s, the highest out of one particular one could be still pretty good. Plus, we have the DPC here telling us that the Audi JPY has been doing really good for the last day. Let's see what it looks like. Did 2 trades. It's still at 100%. 91.7 for the week, and it's still 4 days, 3 days into the week. In the last month, it's done 12, done 91%. So pretty damn good. We're not, 'cause it's still January, all that kind of stuff. So, all right. So we'll wait for that to take on, and if it doesn't take on, that's okay. We'll simply just wait for the next set of trades to come on board. I don't like putting on more than one, but I am going to look at this other set of dailies that came over. Which all seems also to be in there we go. The British Gold Pound USD at 22.60 came out at 9 o'clock as well. Let's see if that can have a because it's for a daily for 11 o'clock. 22.60. There it is. Whoa. For the buy side. Okay, so what I'm going to do is do the one contract and do 78 here for the buy here, and let that sit. Yep, for the buy 22.60. So we got about 20 pips up. 22.60 at that point. So this one could get filled in that process. So. Pretty excited. So well, then we'll just sit here and wait for this. I'm going to pause the video and we'll come back about 9:45 to see how this works out. All right, everybody, this is Max Farrell. This is Dex. We're back here. We had one of our dailies pick up. Now let me show you what I did here. On a daily signal, you can place it in just at the 22.60 here, like on a British Gold Pound. You can place it just right in on as a working order, and it works out pretty good. It fills about 20% of the time. And I put them down, and I still have it down here. But there's another technique called the choke up, and the choke up works very simply. That I use our data processing center, and I come down to the British Gold Pound USD, and I look at what is the percentage rate of how many pips per deal does it usually come over, and it's 53 pips on this. So I know if it is up 20 pips, that on the dailies, there are 20 pips in difference on each strike. So I know if I come up 20 pips, I'm still pretty safe, unless there's a complete overhaul of this system today. So I was able to get in at $69 back a couple minutes ago, while we were in part there, for a daily, which is a 1 hour, 1.5 hour, 2 hour trade. And again, this is the part where the working orders will fill about 20% of the time when you have them down here. But if they don't look like they're about to fill, then you can easily get into a choke up. Now this has a little bit more risk to it, and we'll see that risk unfold here. But as it comes up and goes back down and it goes back up again, this should unfold to be a pretty solid deal, and we'll start to see getting into profit margin. Okay, my original intraday trade has not come to fruition. Doesn't look like it's about to. It's 17 minutes left to it. In about 2 minutes, I'm going to pull this trade. In fact, I'll probably pull it right now because I don't think we're going to come up far enough. So I'm going to pull this right now because I want you to see up here in your reserve, it does have a marker out and it does take money out. It really doesn't charge you anything, and you don't get charged fees or anything. I'm going to delete the reminder here right now and watch what happens. See it drop back down, and my available balance went back up again. Now, I still do have one down here, but because my balance, can only handle one contract at a time using 10% risk management, I am simply going to pull this one particularly off because I don't want, if it does fail, I don't want it to fail through both of them. Not that it would, because there's no real news happening. We're seeing a pretty light sideways day with the British gold pound. We just happened to get in pretty good there with that process. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one to create my available balance up to even higher and hit close. And that's basically it. So this is my deal for now. This is at 9:43 in the morning here on the 4th of January. So pretty cool. We're going to leave this going, and I'll come back here in about 5 minutes, 10-20 minutes to see how everything's unfolding. This is a longer term trade now, so we're going to if I do get into another one here, I'll let you know and I'll come back on. But if not, I'll probably let this go to like a couple minutes before the expiry here. So I'll see you back here in a few. Hello, everybody. This is Max Farrow, and this is Dex Trader again. And here we're back here at the last couple minutes of the trade that came on with the British gold pound USD. Now, I want to tell you right now that these are set and forget for me. I have to kind of get up and walk away from them because there are times when in some of the choke ups that the pricing structure will dip way down and sometimes even go out of the money, right? So you got to kind of play on both sides of that. So I think what most people kind of forget that when you start to really trade, you have to trust the system. If you're going to sit and micromanage every pip, you're going to kind of get lost in the series here, okay? And that's why we've sort of gone the way we have with placing working orders and getting them put on board and doing choke ups and all those kind of great things. The British gold pound USD, I could have gotten out because I was worried that if it was going to fail or what have you when it was out of the money, but it's righted itself. The dailies are very, very strong, okay? And because we're using the DPC, the Data Processing Center, it gives us a tremendous amount of information to be able to allow us to make these decisions for these pairs to do what they do. With an average of 53 pips, coming up one set of 20 pips would not have been an issue and would have been very unlikely for it to fail overall. That's why we were able to get in. And look at this, we're like 16 pips up, 17 pips up with 1 minute and 13 seconds left. So I'm pretty sure there's not something for us to worry about here. You see this flashing going on and off because it's actually, just so you know, that this might be a little bit of a trick of the market makers to say, hey, look, oh, you want to get out here, try this, because it might fail. But with 14 pips to go above the mark, I don't think it's going to fail at all. We started this account with $800, and we're just starting out with this process to show that you can make it from this point. Now, we're only doing one contract at a time for the solution until we get to 1,600. Then we'll do 2 contracts, and then 2,400, 3 contracts, and so forth. And we'll build up this account here to show you how well it works. And in future videos, you'll also see us break it down on money management, that kind of stuff. So we got about 25 seconds to go in this series, and it'll be finished. So 20 seconds, 19 seconds. Still at 17 pips up. They've taken the margin off altogether now because they know that there's there's no use in it of anybody else getting in either. So no, they don't want anybody else to get in like $1 or something like that for 50 pips or something. So we'll go ahead and 2 seconds, and there it is. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. You'll see that it'll propagate the amount here soon. Put that $100 in there. Come on, guys. I want my money. I want my money. Sometimes this takes a minute. You know, they're got a lot of trades to close out in calculation. All right, and there we go. 853. Not too bad. Grabbing the account information. History transactions. Go to the view. So you can see this is it hasn't done the other side of it yet. So you see I got in for 69.50. So pretty damn good being able to do the choke ups. Let me see if I could do view history again. And nope, still not there yet. But you could copy and paste this into a journal, which will show in the training, which you showed in the training. Pretty powerful. And you'll be able to see my journal from this account, from this part. And I'll give that link in the description as well. All right, well, I'm going to get going because I know there's other trades that I can get into, and that's another video. I'm Max Farrow. This is Dex Trader, and you are watching the Trading Live with Max. Take care. Trade well.